Hi, my full name is Juan Carlos Gavitleres, and I'm going to try to answer, the questions that were popped up in the website. So the first question is, what is challenging about being a teacher? Well, the challenging about being a teacher is just to try to adapt, so many different learning styles to a teaching styles. So that's why you have to take into account every teaching style, so to adapt it to a learning style and try to some way to make the bridge, all right, and to close the learning gaps so that the students can feel more comfortable. So it's not a matter of just to uh, please every student, but it's a matter of understanding. That's what I think. And the second question is, what do you think is challenging about learning a language? Well, in my own experience, I think it depends on the language. So since I speak several languages, so in some of these languages are French and Hebrew too. Well, I would say if the language, of course, it has some similarities to the native language, of course, it's not going to be so difficult. But of course, in languages such as Arabic and Hebrew language, maybe Chinese language, of course, it's going to be very difficult. And of course, one of the first things just to adapt, is try to get all the pronunciation patterns and to adapt them so that the person can have a more natural communication. And of course, these communication patterns, so it has to do with the pronunciation, and it has to do, of course, according to the guidelines that the person is receiving. So probably the person get a guideline on IPA, of course, the English is going to be easier. And of course, and the cultural aspects, of course, it's very, very important, especially if the person has had the contact with a foreign culture or has been in that country. Of course, is going to be more aware in some way, so about some things, about some expressions too. And the fourth question, it's can you tell us about a time you made a mistake with a student? uh well, yeah, so that's why I mentioned it's so important just to try to take into account every student, because this student I remember, so that had he had a problem. He had learning problems because it was something in his brain that uh, didn't allow him just to learn a foreign language. So his process was really slow, and the rest of the students, were very fast. So what I did was just to try to talk to the group so that the activities were uh, slow in some way, so or turn it into slow lessons. And and I remember that starting from that, so of course the classes were pretty good. The fifth question is, what is your perspective on error correction in the classroom? Well, it depends on the way that you're going to correct a student. um, I think it's better just to use some words. Yeah, so it's just such as, for example, it is better if you pronounce this and that in this way. So it could be more appropriate. So if you say it in that way, and all depends on the correction, if it has to do with the pronunciation errors. Um, and of course, well, I have always used some things, authentic materials, probably dictionaries online, and I try to copy and paste and show the student, the real meaning of certain words too, so that all of the students can realize about their mistakes too. So it doesn't matter if it's pronunciation, or it doesn't matter if it's the context or the meaning of the word. Yeah. Okay. So the sixth question is, what could you do if a student seems nervous or untalkative? Mm, just to try to make the student comfortable. Yeah, okay, trying to laugh a little bit. All right, so trying to make the things more comfortable for the students, just trying to laugh and trying to make some jokes, right? So in case that I always try to take my own example, because I remember I was a very shy student too. So during the time and over the years, so it was very challenging in some way, but of course I cannot say that I don't feel shy so for anything because you know whenever I face a new classroom, whenever I face a room, whenever I face a classroom too, so of course it's a new experience. I still feel nervous. So that's why I like to be honest with myself and with my students. So because I have lived the same situations too. Number 7 says, is company culture important to you? Or why or why not? Yes, it's very important. It's really, really important because if there are growth opportunities in a company, of course, a teacher is going to take into account this. And of course, he's going to think, okay, I'm going to have the opportunity that's to grow in this company. So I'm going to be there for a long time. And if I'm going to be in for a long time, I'm going to do my best. Right. So that's why it's very important. So if there are growth opportunities, I don't know. Well, but probably could be good. So if I know some things too, maybe in the future. Uh, okay. So I'm going to check the first question too. It's that what is your favorite thing about being a teacher? Well, my favorite thing about being a teacher, so definitely it just try to get the opportunity to explore so many different minds, so many different thoughts, because every mind, every thought is a whole new universe for me. And of course, and naturally, I'm very curious. That's why I wanted to be a teacher because I am very curious. And of course, that's why I love to learn languages too, new languages too. Of course, in my projects, in my plans, so I am planning to learn other languages. But I have always been very, very curious. So that's why I wanted to be a teacher. And of course, just to try to in some way to contage okay that curiosity. So that's something that I have always really wanted to do all of my life. Okay, thank you so much. Regarding to the question number 8 is what you want to know more about the Craving English. So yeah, so of course I have read some things, all right, so about the company, but the philosophy and yeah, of course I would like to maybe to deep a little bit more, right? So well, if you give me that opportunity, of course, I would like to have the chance just to listen to you. Okay, thank you so much. I hope to be interviewed. Okay, thank you so much.